Sometimes we don't know why bad things happen in our lives. Until now, I wasn't sure of that either.
With Bethany's film, we had a ton of footage to work with because her family had filmed her since she was, a toddler.
Good morning, Mom.
Even in the hospital, when I first looked at her face and they brought her in the room, and I looked at her and go, she's gonna make me laugh. I just knew it.
Even as a little girl, Bethany just always had a lot of compassion towards other people.
Bethany, say hi.
They'd filmed her surfing, they'd filmed her at the hospital after the attack, and her coming back to surfing, her first day back out there. So we had a lot to work with. That first summer we started working on it, I basically laid out a visual outline of what the story would look like. But I didn't want it to be just talking heads, because people don't want to sit there and watch, this person's face, then this person's face. You need to see something visual. And I brought in an editor who kind of had a little bit more experience than me in editing. His name's Russell Brownlee. Great editor, great cinematographer, just very passionate about the project, which is definitely a key in working with somebody. You want to work with somebody who's passionate.
Right away, she just started doing stuff, she'd put stuff between her feet and she hardly even, it didn't seem like she struggled that much. She took it really good, compared to a lot of people, I think.
A lot of times I would try things that I wouldn't be able to do. But I would just make sure to try them before I asked for help, and I wouldn't let people do it for me unless I gave it a shot. That was pretty pro.
Through the whole process of making the movie, Bethany wasn't that involved, and her family, they kind of left that up to me as far as, just put something together and then we'll look at it and tell you what we think. So we put together a cut, and when I had to show it to them, I was so nervous. I was shaking and what are they going to think? I mean, this is their story, how do you show somebody their story and, they're going to probably think of all these other things that should be in there, or, they're not going to like the way they look or whatever. So I showed it to them, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. They loved it. Tom was in tears, Bethany's dad. It brought back those memories, but it also, they felt like it told the story the way that they wanted to tell it, and that was what I was hoping for, so I was really satisfied with that. One of my favorite sections in the movie is Bethany talking about living with, lifestyle with one arm. Near the end of that segment, she talks about self-consciousness, and because that's something that you would think, well, yeah, you're going to be more self-conscious if you only have one arm, and it's different than everyone else. A lot of people would struggle with that, and so that's a question she does get asked a lot of times, and usually, it doesn't really affect her overall a lot, so she usually just says, oh no, that, that doesn't really affect me. But when I interviewed her, she actually opened up and said, I realized that I do get self-conscious sometimes, and just like everybody else, I mean, she's a normal person.
I realize I do get self-conscious sometimes, and when I see all these beautiful girls with perfect body, perfect everything, it's the way I deal with it is I know that beauty's not everything, and in your heart you can be beautiful, and just do your best to ignore the fact that you're not going to be perfect.
So far, people's reactions have just been amazing. When somebody comes up and tells you that your movie made a huge impact on their life and changed their perspective, or you just really encouraged them, I think that's what it's all about. That's better than any award that you could ever get, is just knowing that your movie affected somebody's life. And so that's the reason why we made the movie. And so that's the most rewarding thing that's come out of the whole process.
The progression was really, really quick. She was only on a longboard for about 2 or 3 sessions, and then she moved into a mini tank, and within 2 weeks she was starting to work her way down to a shortboard.
I didn't doubt her. I knew she had the faith and I knew she could because she's such a courageous person. I never thought that I'd see Bethany surfing again, and I'm just really amazed that she's back in the water.
We are currently working on a feature film, I think feature-length film about Bethany's story as well. If you guys are interested in finding out more about the documentary or finding out where it's going to be showing, we have a website. It's heartofasoulsurfer.com, and you go on there. It has a page for tour stops, screening dates, and also if you're interested in buying the DVD, we have that available online as well through the website heartofasoulsurfer.com. And you can befriend us on MySpace too, myspace.com/heartofasoulsurfer.